Hello, IEW Fun and Fascinating. We are continuing lesson 20. This is going to wrap up the last 3 papers that you've written. Basically, you've taken a paragraph about 3 great men in our history, which were Benjamin Franklin, Louis Braille, and Thomas Edison. And you've written a paragraph about each of them. Now you're going to simply wrap it all up into an awesome 3-paragraph report. However, if your reader sat down to read this, they would read Benjamin Franklin, la 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 la, and then all of a sudden they'd be reading about Louis Braille and la 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 la. We need to bring some smoothness and some cohesiveness to bring it together. So if you were to hand this paper to somebody, they would be, oh, like, look, so-and-so wrote a paragraph of some of the great men of history. And then they would understand why you were writing about Benjamin Franklin, why you were writing about Louis Braille and Thomas Edison. So turn, if you would, with me to page 137 in your workbook, and let's go through together. We're going to begin with, you now have 3 paragraphs. You now have 3 paragraphs written about men who helped make the world a better place. In this lesson, you will put these 3 paragraphs together into a 3-paragraph report. You cannot, however, simply begin your report with your first paragraph as it is. If you do, your readers will assume the whole report will be about Benjamin Franklin. Then, when they reach the 2nd paragraph and begin to read about Louis Braille, they'll be confused. Do you remember what you did in lesson 14 when you combined your 3 paragraphs about amazing animal homes into one report? You added an introductory statement about interesting animal homes and a final clincher that told the subject of the entire report. You must do the same with this report about men who helped make the world a better place. Under introductory statement here. At the very beginning of the first paragraph, you need to let your reader know the subject of the entire report, the subject that ties all 3 paragraphs together. You need to make a statement about men who helped make the world a better place, or men who changed the world. On the next page are some sample ideas. So turn, if you would, with me to page 138. All right, you see the box at the top? Let's read together. Number 1 example. Great men help make the world a better place. One such man in history is Benjamin Franklin. Example 2. Benjamin Franklin, Louis Braille, and Thomas Edison will all be remembered as great men who changed the world. Ben Franklin helped make life better in the American colonies. La 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 la. So those are examples of how you can create an introduction, and next we're going to talk about the final clincher. And really, y'all, all you're doing is you're taking this introductory statement, you're adding it to the very beginning of those 3 paragraphs, and you may, I'm going to encourage y'all to go back and check each paragraph to, if you say when you wrote about Benjamin Franklin, you forgot to include a strong adjective. Now's the time to go back. Add in your strong adjective. Make sure you have all of your elements. But really, you add your introductory statement. You make sure you have all your elements through your 3 paragraphs. And you're going to add a closing sentence that wraps it all together nicely. Let's look at that here. It says the final clincher. You must also end your entire report by reflecting the subject of the report. We call this the final clincher. You create your final clincher by repeating or reflecting 2 to 3 key words from the introductory statement. Here are ideas for the sample introductions above. So if you had used number 1 example at the top here to intro your report, saying the great men help make the world a better place, one such man in history is Benjamin Franklin, down here you could wrap it up in a clincher saying, the world is a better place because of great men who worked hard. Or, number 2, you could say, men like Edison, Braille, and Franklin will never be forgotten. The introductory statement and final clincher are like a topic sentence and a clincher of a paragraph, but for the entire 3-paragraph report. So you're going to gather your 3 reports. Most of you probably have them saved in files from typing them. And you're going to add the introductory statement to the beginning with Benjamin Franklin to introduce the subject of the entire report. You're going to add the final clincher to the end of the last paragraph. Don't forget, they should reflect. The topic sentence rule is going to apply. They need to reflect or repeat 2 to 3 keywords. And then lastly, you're going to combine all the paragraphs to make a 3-paragraph report. If you would turn to page 140 in your book with me, look here and take note, your first 4 things. And these are these are big point things for grading your paper. Making sure you have an introductory statement, that's worth 5 points. Next, each paragraph has a topic sentence and a clincher with keywords highlighted. You've done that already, most likely. And if you haven't, now's the time to tweak it and add it. Next, a final clincher. We said overall report, intro, overall clincher at the very bottom after your 3 paragraphs. And a title for all 3 that reflects at least 1 word or 2 words from your final clincher. If you have any questions about that, I want you to go to your teacher and ask her, and y'all are always welcome to reach out to me as well. And lastly, your style, dress-ups, sentence openers, any decorations. Look at the notes. If your teacher's put any notes in her corrections, now is the time to go back and make those edits and make those corrections. So when you turn it in this time, it is pristine and perfect to be able to hand in to her your very best, putting your very best forward. You're always going to want to do that in life, to give it your best. So with that, this is going to create a fantastic final page report, and this is going to be one of your most stellar writing achievements that you will have achieved for the entire year. I'd encourage you, once this is done, share this with a grandparent or a neighbor, somebody outside of your parents, although reading it at dinner would be a good place too. And this is going to be a fantastic piece that will be able to show what you're learning, to show off your writing skills that you're putting together. So I really encourage you to do that as well. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.